Head coach Carlo Ancelotti is expected to unveil a powerful squad. There's little doubt about that. But selecting the perfect striker remains his toughest challenge. For years, Brazil have searched for a dependable center forward, someone who can consistently deliver on the grandest stage. Talented forwards have come and gone, yet too often their club brilliance fades when they put on the famous yellow jersey. That inconsistency has haunted the Selecao and continues to worry fans as the next World Cup cycle looms. Tonight, we dive deep into the heart of this debate. We'll examine the leading candidates for that coveted position, their recent form, and how each might fit into Ancelotti's plans. By the end, you'll have a clearer idea of which two strikers could emerge as Brazil's primary attacking weapons. And of course, we want to hear your thoughts in the comments, because this decision is far from straightforward. Let's start with the name that almost everyone agrees is a lock, João Pedro. Ancelotti's trust in João Pedro seems unwavering. His intelligent movement, clinical finishing, and ability to link play have made him a standout option. Barring injury, it's nearly impossible to imagine a Brazil squad announcement without his name. For many, this is the one fixed decision in an otherwise fluid selection process. But football never stops at one certainty. The real intrigue lies in discovering who will join João Pedro on that striker shortlist. Naturally, Richarlison enters the conversation. The Tottenham forward has scored important goals recently and remains a fan favorite. Yet his performances swing wildly from dazzling to disappointing. One week he's unstoppable. The next he struggles to make an impact. For a national team seeking stability ahead of the World Cup, those fluctuations are worrying. Ancelotti knows he cannot gamble on a striker whose form rises and falls like the tide. Richarlison is undeniably gifted, but can Brazil afford to rely on him when consistency is everything? That's the question. Next up is Kaio Jorge, the Cruzeiro sensation whose story is as inspiring as it is frustrating. Injuries robbed him of opportunities in previous call-ups, yet his current form is impossible to overlook. Sharp, composed, and hungry, Kaio Jorge is finally delivering the performances that once made him a teenage prodigy. Had injuries not intervened, he might already be a mainstay in Brazil's lineup. Now fully fit, he sits firmly on Ancelotti's radar. Many analysts believe Kaio Jorge could be the perfect partner, or even challenger, for João Pedro in the months ahead. Brazilian forwards shining in the English Premier League are always big news, and Igor Jesus has forced everyone to take notice. At Nottingham Forest, he's been a revelation, for goals and 2 assists in his last 6 matches. Those numbers speak for themselves. Can Ancelotti afford to ignore a striker producing at that level in one of the world's most demanding leagues? Probably not. Igor's strength, work rate, and finishing touch make him an intriguing outsider who could sneak into the squad if his hot streak continues. Then there's Vitor Roque, another young gun who refuses to be overlooked. 10 matches for Palmeiras have yielded 8 goals and 4 assists. A remarkable return for a player still carving out his professional identity. Roque combines speed with a natural instinct for goal, traits that could translate perfectly to the international stage. Ancelotti's challenge will be balancing Roque's youthful energy with the need for experience. Still, few would be surprised if the teenager becomes a central figure in Brazil's future plans. Some fans also mention Matheus Cunha, though he is primarily an attacking midfielder. Cunha offers creativity and tactical flexibility, but he isn't a classic number 9. While his skill set is valuable, Ancelotti is more likely to use him in a supporting role rather than as the main striker. So, with such a wealth of attacking talent, who deserves the final 2 spots? Form matters, chemistry matters, and above all, reliability matters. Ancelotti is unlikely to keep experimenting deep into the World Cup cycle. He wants to build a squad now that can grow together and peak when the tournament arrives. From this perspective, João Pedro remains the undisputed first choice. After him, the debate sharpens. Richarlison's inconsistency weakens his case. Igor Jesus is exciting, but still proving himself at the highest level. Vitor Roque is electric, but very young. That leaves Kaio Jorge as the most balanced option, a striker in excellent form, hungry to prove his worth, and ready to shoulder responsibility. If the decision were ours, the call would be clear. João Pedro and Kaio Jorge should headline Brazil's next squad as the two primary number 9s. Richarlison might still receive a recall if he finds sustained rhythm, and Igor Jesus could earn a surprise call-up if his Premier League heroics continue. Vitor Roque, meanwhile, is one to watch for the future. But right now, stability and form point to João Pedro and Kaio Jorge as the duo to trust. That's our take, but Brazilian football is nothing without passionate debate. Which two strikers would you choose for the upcoming Asia Tour and beyond? Should Ancelotti gamble on Richarlison's talent, reward Igor Jesus for his Premier League exploits, or fast-track the dazzling Vitor Roque? Drop your selections and reasoning in the comments below. We'll feature the most interesting opinions in our next video. Brazil's quest for the perfect number 9 is more than a tactical decision. It's a search for the next great icon to carry a nation's hopes. The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher.